Hi everyone, and welcome back to another Business English Skills class. Today we're going to be talking about empathy, but specifically we're going to be talking about using empathy tactically and this idea of labeling or labeling emotions. First of all, let's talk about empathy itself. What exactly is empathy? Now, most of you guys in business will know this word, and you will understand empathy as being the ability to understand or share in somebody else's emotional states. It's really about putting yourself in their position, or in their circumstances, and understanding what's going on. Which in business situations, especially if you're negotiating, say with clients or even suppliers, understanding their position and having the ability to sort of see things from their point of view is a vital skill. So what is labeling? Well, labeling is using your powers of empathy in a tactical way. Labeling is actually when you acknowledge those emotions or those feelings, not in yourself, but in other people. So, for example, have you ever been in a meeting, you've had a discussion, and then afterwards you've left the meeting and you've said to yourself, he was unsure, or there's something not right about that person. They were scared, or they weren't totally on board with this. But during the meeting, you haven't said anything. You've acknowledged yourself that there was this feeling or this emotion, but you never actually spoke it out loud. Now, labeling is speaking out loud and making sure that everybody can acknowledge this feeling or this emotion. So, acknowledging emotions. What do you think would happen if you acknowledge somebody's emotions? Or if you say to somebody, you're unsure about this. You're not happy about this. Or you're very excited about this. When you acknowledge people's emotions, it does a number of things. First of all, if there's a positive feeling, then you acknowledging that positive feeling will simply reinforce the idea within that person. If you acknowledge a negative feeling or a negative emotion, then it makes the other person or the other people acknowledge it too. And it will actually make people start to think about their negative feelings and emotions. And once people have started to acknowledge and think about why they are having these negative emotions, you can start to use your skills of negotiation to replace those negative feelings with feelings of positivity. So labeling or using tactical empathy can reinforce positive and help to diffuse negative feelings. But how do we use labeling? How do we use tactical empathy? Well, the one thing I want you to make sure you never do is use first person pronouns. I and you. I think, or you don't seem. These first person pronouns are too aggressive for this situation. So you always want to use third person pronouns like it. And you want to use these kinds of phrases. It seems like, it looks like, it sounds like, it seems like you're not convinced. It looks like you still need a little bit more information. It sounds like you're unsure about this solution. Once you have put that out there, once you have labeled this feeling, now it's time for you to stop and be quiet, pause and listen to what information is given back to you. Especially with these negative emotions, if you label the negative feeling, that person will then have to think about that negative feeling and try and justify to themselves why they have a negative feeling. And then they will probably give you that information. They will try and justify to you why they have this negative feeling. And once you have that information, you can then start to turn that negative into the positive. Once you have got used to using labeling or tactical empathy in your negotiations, one of the things that you can do is actually put a label on it right at the very beginning, from the outset of a negotiation. So we're talking literally at the very, very beginning. You walk into the room and you say to people, it seems like this is going to be a tough negotiation, but I guarantee you, at the end of it, you're going to be happier than you've ever been. Yeah? If you can say a phrase like that at the very beginning of a negotiation, you're putting a label on the stress that people are probably feeling because of it's a negotiation. It's going to be a tough negotiation. It seems like this is going to be a tough negotiation. But once we're through this negotiation, you are going to be happy with the outcome. You're going to be happy with the solution that we come up with. Yeah, you are labeling and acknowledging that negative emotion that always comes with any kind of negotiation, but you're telling people it's okay. We are going to be happy at the end of this. Yeah. Now, it takes a lot of confidence to label or use this empathy, tactical empathy, at the very, very beginning, but it is a very, very powerful tool to help you negotiate with people. It demonstrates empathy right at the very, very beginning of the process. Okay. So, key takeaways. Acknowledging others' situations helps you to create empathy. Negative feelings are more powerful than positive emotions. So if you label those negative feelings, people will acknowledge them openly, probably give you details about why they're feeling negative, and then that gives you more information to help you turn that negative emotion into a positive emotion. Okay? Always pause after you acknowledge the emotion. When you label the emotion, pause. Doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. Pause and let them speak. Labeling fears helps to diffuse their power. If you are talking to somebody who is fearful, they're scared, they're stressed about whatever situation that you're negotiating or talking about, if you label that straight away and you acknowledge that emotion straight away, that person immediately senses your empathy and those negative feelings are diminished immediately. Okay? And finally, head off any objections first by labeling them right at the beginning. Yeah? Tell people the first thing that you say, this is going to be tough. This is going to be a hard negotiation. I'm going to ask lots of things from you and it's going to seem like it's impossible. But trust me, at the end of this negotiation, you are going to be totally happy with the solution.